Here are 15 of the best Ask Reddit stories for today. I hope you enjoy and remember to subscribe. It really helps us out. We post new videos every day.
People who slept with their best friend. How did it happen and did your friendship change afterwards? We have been friends for like 5 years. I'd always liked her from the start but didn't want to risk the friendship. Turns out she was thinking the same thing the whole time. She was just a physically affectionate friend to everyone. So I didn't think anything of her constantly touching me in ways that would usually be considered flirting. We were close but none of us ever expressed anything. At some point one of our mutual friends, who I hadn't told, let slip by accident that she had a mega crush on me. And I couldn't believe it. I asked my friend. And she said it was true. I confided my feelings as well. And we got busy fast. Because we both felt we'd spend enough time together to be sure of each other, and now it's been a year and a half. And we're still together and still in that honeymoon phase. I think I might propose her on our 2-year anniversary. And that is accidentally the same date when she turns 24. I'm a very lucky dude. And I know everyone won't be so lucky. But there is hope, my dudes.
Men of Reddit, what is something us women do that baffles you? Maybe just my wife, but wait until I'm just out of earshot to start telling me important information. All I hear is Charlie Brown teacher noises. How you all manage to sit with a phone in your back pocket. How they don't dress for the occasion. They dress for the arrival. And then after 5 minutes they aren't comfortable. When I don't understand something my wife says and I ask her to elaborate, she keeps repeating the same sentence over and over, expecting me to understand it rather than explaining it. I don't understand why. Take whatever time you need to get ready, whether it be 30 minutes or 3 hours, then rush us when we're about to leave to put our shoes on. Walk right past the thermostat and then sit down and tell me to go turn up the heat. The signs, hints, signals all look like you're just being nice and want to be friends. I can't interpret your desires, just tell me.
What is the stupidest thing you believed in as a child? I thought an oncologist was the doctor who was on call. Definitely. And a phlebotomist is a doctor who treats flabby bottoms. For some reason, I thought every car that was made had to do a crash test. Probably because my dad once told that our car had a very good rating in the crash test. I was amazed by the fact that all cars were repaired so well before being sold. I thought if the light turned red you had to slam on the brakes wherever you were, like red light, green light 123. I would yell at my mom for slowing up to the line of cars before stopping. My kid does this to me when I'm driving. Just learned that red means stop and green means go. He is constantly confused at why I don't immediately stop or start when the light changes. Kid, other cars on the road in front and behind us. It cracks me up with the cuteness. He's 3. That the black market was a real place. I always wondered why the police didn't just go there and arrest everyone for their bad crimes if they knew about it. When someone says black market, my brain pictures a flea market with black roofs and all the salespeople are criminals in leather jackets. I think of laundromats. I can't remember if it's Family Guy or Futurama where they go to the black market and they just have hand grenades for $4.99 in the fruit baskets. I was picturing the bizarre scene from Radar. People who dated a celebrity, what was it like? Not a romantic date in the least, but I had dinner once at a Japanese restaurant, in a group setting, with Leonardo DiCaprio while he was in Louisiana filming Django Unchained. He wanted to know what college was like and was asking us all about our lives. He also let me try his udon. It was my first ever Instagram post. He really is such a nice guy in the limelight, and in real life it felt like we were hanging out with our friend. My wife's aunt fucked David Hasselhoff 30-odd years ago. She worked in the television industry. She is now a lesbian. Lol.
Offered $50,000, but if you accept it, the person you hate most in the entire world gets $100,000. Are you taking it? Yes. Why wouldn't I want $150,000?
Some of you think you'll make good partners cause you don't cheat, but don't realize that you're manipulative, inconsiderate, unappreciative, insecure, lack empathy, have poor communication skills, but that's a convo for another day.
You're really cute. Why don't you have a boyfriend? My parents aren't really cool with that yet. What about you? Why don't you have a girlfriend? Because your parents aren't really cool with it yet. Do I get one of those jobs that aren't real, where I send an email, and then go to a meeting, and then draft an email, and then leave work and get paid $98,000 a year, and have a badge on a little cord that says Senior Deputy Analytics Coordinator Supervisor of Marketing and Sales? My boyfriend has been putting back money every month and saved up $5,000 to purchase a new vehicle tomorrow. What he doesn't know is he has $10,000. I have been secretly matching every dollar he has saved. He truly being an adult is terrible, but I thank God every day that I don't have to randomly run a mile at noon, against my will, and then go on about my day like we did in school. I miss you. Can we talk? I really want to see you. What are we? I don't understand our relationship. Sometimes we're friends, sometimes we're more than friends, and sometimes I'm just a stranger to you. One minute you're talking to me as if I'm something special, and the next minute you're talking to me as if I mean nothing to you. One day you pay so much attention to me, and then the next day you completely ignore me. Don't mess with my feelings because you're unsure about yours. Grow up and talk to me when you're done treating girls like you own them. Teachers who regularly get invited to high school reunions. What's the craziest transformation you've seen? Not a teacher, but I went to my 10-year reunion. Back in high school we had a kid who has Asperger's and was a little weird. He was, however, amazing at the yo-yo, having picked one up during middle school when we had that yo-yo trick assembly. After everyone else had stopped walking the dog in 8th grade, this guy was doing more and more elaborate tricks every day during lunch. He was bullied and teased, but he continued doing what he loved. So, at our 10-year reunion, people from every strata of high school popularity was there, including this guy. He was his same old self, but more confident. I asked him if he still yo-yos, and he busted out his custom-made titanium yo-yo that he said he made on a CNC lathe. He then starts to do some tricks and a large crowd gathered around. It was quite the show. He had gotten very good. When he finished, people clapped and cheered, and even the jockeyest dudes from back in the day fist bumped him and told him how badass he was. The most amazing transformation was everyone else. Nobody teased him for being who he was anymore. They now admired him for being so passionate about something. What are some interesting life hacks for saving money? I don't smoke but live my financial life as a smoker, meaning every Monday I transfer the sum of 1 week's worth of cigarettes to my savings account. If people that earn less than me can afford smoking, so can I. Instead of paying for Amazon products, become a product tester and get them sent to you for free and actually make a few $100s a week from it. I applied at tryhomebasics.com. Always eat before going food shopping. Don't buy the cheapest option. Often the middle-priced options will be the best value. Things that are too cheap are worth what you paid for them. Don't buy something that you normally wouldn't buy just because you have a coupon. What's the dumbest rule your school ever enforced? Can't be standing around in groups more than 4. Gang mentality. They outlawed bracelets because there was an article in a magazine somewhere saying they advertised what actual acts you were open for based on their color. Then someone tried to outlaw wristwatches for the same reason. Locked the only boys' bathroom because someone wrote on the wall in Sharpie. It wasn't even anything rude or inappropriate either. It was just the word hi or something like that. Didn't unlock the door until one boy wet himself and parents threatened to sue. Not really a rule, but the toilet paper holders are outside of the stalls on a wall, so you have to calculate before taking a shit how much you need and hope that it was enough. No farting in class, they would say. If you need to fart then go to the toilet, but then 9 times out of 10 if you asked to go to the toilet, they'd say no.
So my girl almost died 3 fucking times in my apocalypse dream cause she don't fucking listen. Now I'm irritated. The male version of you cheated in my dream.
My girlfriend just gave birth to our first child. I know I'm not the biological father and I revealed I knew as soon as she gave birth. I'll try to keep this short because I'm planning to go to a bar soon. A guy approached me at my work. Are you Sarah's boyfriend? I said yeah and asked what he wanted. He said he was sorry that he had slept with her and swore he didn't know that she was with someone. He then pulled out his phone to show the texts between them. They had been sleeping together or linking up for at least a year. Then she found out she was pregnant and they came to an agreement to just pretend the baby was mine. I'll spare the details, but she went into labor, baby was born, and was taken to the NICU to be monitored for a bit. What should have been a beautiful moment of me holding my baby, was the most heartbreaking time of my life. Once she was sewn up and comfortable I started packing up my stuff to leave. She asked where I was going and I just told her. I know I'm not baby's name's father. You can act all shocked but I know. Just ask him to come, I'm positive he'll sign the birth certificate. Then I left. She's been calling my phone over